Very nice weather today, and it's not muddy, so it's good. I have a team yesterday. I sent the team 2 days ago to come here, work here, to show you something today. Very unfortunate. We work whole afternoon, even midnight yesterday, to make the plot ready, and that's just further away from here in this corner. But if anybody, as Doctor has said, if anybody interested, we can go there after the lunch and we can show you some very interesting thing this year. So here, as Doctor has said, this project is led by Dr. Blaine Horn, and he's the educator here. And last year when we had a field day here, one producer came up and asked me the question, can we grow here orchard grass? If we can grow orchard grass, how much water do we need? So orchard grass, some people thought this is a dryland species. Truly, this is not dryland species. This requires a lot of water. This is an irrigated species. But there is a variety recently came out. It's not very recent, about 10 years ago it came out. Paiute, that's the variety that's treated as dryland variety as well. So that requires less water, but it does not mean that can be grown every year if we have a severe drought like 2012 we have. So the question came last field day, then we are thinking, okay, to answer this, like the question come like this way, why not we grow orchard grass everywhere? We cannot grow orchard grass everywhere if we don't have water. We cannot grow orchard grass very nicely in Laramie. But this is a good place in Sheridan, we can grow orchard grass. So that's initiated this project, and we thank Blaine Horn came forward and took this, and we got some funding to do that. So the first objective of the study to look at what varieties can be grown in area, especially northeast area of Wyoming. And then second, can we make this hay? If we can make this hay, how quality would be for this hay? And then normally, if you look at behind, what are the grass? Can you tell anybody? What are the grass over there you can see? What are the grass? What others? Orchard grass? Just very close to you, what is this grass? Next to your leg, yeah. What are those? Okay, so that's the dominant, even Casey behind you. So that's the dominant species in Wyoming, really, the smooth brome. Smooth brome everywhere, okay, smooth brome everywhere. If you go, you will see everywhere smooth brome. But Timothy does not grow everywhere, it needs a lot of water. So here, this project, we have 7 species, starting smooth brome, meadow brome, tall fescue, 2 types of wheatgrass, pubescent wheatgrass and intermediate wheatgrass. Then we have Timothy, then we have orchard grass. So what we are looking here, we have different varieties here. And then each species we put 2 varieties of that. And then to look at this, whether we can grow if we plant in spring. This planted on May 20th, just May 20, is about 24 days ago, is that right? If you're interested, we can go over there. Some already started to show up because after the planting, we did not have water available, but we had a good rain. So still seeds are there, but some already started to show up. So the objective of this study mainly to look at all this variety under 2 different irrigation system, limited versus full irrigation system. So Dan can give little bit input on that, how you are going to manage the irrigation. That's a big factor here.
The idea for managing the irrigation is there's treatments and they're randomized throughout. You can see the flags go clear out to there, so this is a huge trial. But that section of the pie will be 1 irrigation treatment, and then it'll switch here. And the way we're going to have a student next summer, and the only way we can do it on this machine is we got to switch nozzles, and so he's going to have to stop at the middle part, go in there, switch all the nozzles around, and then finish out the field, and then he can come back, has to switch all the nozzles out, and then finish out the field. So that's the way the irrigation is going to be managed next year at whatever rate they decide to do. The PIs decide to run.
Thanks, Dan. That's how we'll be doing. But this year, no irrigation treatment. Coming year would be irrigation treatment. And then two main objectives. We'll harvest like late to early summer, late spring to early summer. And after that, we'll have regrowth. Can we have grazing on that regrowth? And what would be the quality? So that's the main. If we can answer these two questions, I think no producer here will not be happy. They will be happy to know these things. How much grass we can have for making hay just late spring to early summer, and if we cut that out, can we graze that in the early fall? So that's the question. And that's the reason this trial is very important, very applied. I invite everyone, please make plan to join again next year so we can show real true what is going on, what is the variety of there. So with this, I'll take question if you have any. And after that, I'll be talking the very big, huge project that's on the corner other side. Do you have any question on that? Any question?
How much do you account for the antelope being in?
Wonderful question, very good question. So this question also came last year too. At the same time, the producer asked us. They said establishment and how we can manage that one. So that would be another big project. We can handle this with this now. If you go today, I don't know, probably because of the lot of people, you can see over there, it's hundreds of antelope here all the time. And I'm going to talk, good asking that question, the big project on the behind. It's about how many, so you can show the map, it's a huge plot. So it's from here, the whole area, is it right?
We're right here, and in the other pivot, right down to the south, the trial takes up this whole center section. It's a 20 acre trial. So
okay, so our trial is here. This is the center pivot. If you go over there, it's a huge, and we are lucky. I thanks Dr. Hayes as well. This is the project funded by Agricultural Experiment Station Competitive Research Grant, and we have a grad student we recruited. Albert, please come with your data sheet here. So it's a 20-acre project. When I asked the student that you have to deal with a master's project, 20 acres field, and he surprised, can I do that? And I said, okay, we'll help you to do that, because it's the first time I have a student who is willing to deal a master's project with 20 acres field. So could you please describe what is the treatment here?
So basically we are looking at grass legume mixtures. We have 15 treatments, 15 grass legume mixtures ratios, and we want to answer several questions with this study. If you grow 100% alfalfa on the field, if we mix alfalfa 50-50 with medium brown grass, what will be the yield? If we grow alfalfa with medium brown grass, then we need not apply any nitrogen. Okay, how much are we able to save if we don't apply nitrogen by seeding alfalfa and medium brown mixture? That's one big question we want to answer. Not only that, but if we seed alfalfa, the seed of alfalfa is more expensive than that of medium brown grass. And also managing the mixtures is quite difficult compared to the soil stand. Because if you have a broad leaf and a grass, you cannot spray any herbicide. So how are you going to manage the weed? So that's one objective of this study. It's not like a small plot experiment where you say you go and hand remove the weeds and you tell the producer. The producer cannot do that. So let's establish this field under a 23-acre field. Okay, so we don't apply any herbicide. So how do we manage weed on that site? I would have been happy if we were all able to go there to see how the weeds are there. But we'll manage that. So based on that, we'll get clear recommendations. If we want to establish this grass legume mixture, this is how you're going to manage the weeds. This is how you are going to prepare the land. This is what you should do to get this yield. So we'll look at both the quality, the yield, how much are we able to save by not applying nitrogen to this grass plot. With nitrogen too, we have 3 rates of nitrogen. We have 0, 50 pounds per acre, 100 pounds per acre. Okay, if the producer is applying 50 pounds per acre and is getting a similar yield as applying 100 pounds per acre, then economically, you can tell the producer it's better to apply 50 pounds per acre than going 100 pounds per acre. And now, other objective is to, if we see that applying 100 pounds is still increasing the yield above a certain threshold, then that will tell us that, okay, if we apply more nitrogen, we are likely to increase yield again. So we can impose more treatments on this plot because the area is very big. It's a very big area, so we can impose more treatment. Also looking at water use efficiency. If we have this amount of water, which system will be better to use? Water use efficiency, how much biomass is the plant able to produce for every square cubic feet of water the plant is using. So if you have this amount of water, probably it will be better to crop this system than this, no matter the yield. So that's basically what you are using. We are trying to investigate here.
Okay, thanks Albert. Other thing he didn't mention that we have 4 different species. Okay, we have meadow brome and we have 3 legumes. Is that right? You haven't mentioned that. This alfalfa, we use latest variety of one of the high quality alfalfa. Then the other option is alfalfa has a lot of problem. If you want to graze, then you have the blot problem. How we can solve this? One of the 2 questions I always receive. One is, what variety should I plant? And the next question followed by, can I graze alfalfa? So really you can graze. There are some varieties, but the problem is the blot. So if you continuously graze, you can lose many heads because of the blot problem. So one of the mix, the study is grass legume mix. So that's really helped to prevent the blot. This #1 objective one of the study. And the other thing is some blot-free alfalfa legumes also, they are not alfalfa legumes. For example, bar's foot trefoil. Probably you heard sandpine. Sandpine looks like very good fit for Sheridan area really. This area, northeastern area. If we can go someone, we can show you how nicely Sheridan, like in this area, sandpine can be grown in the first and second year. And then bar's foot trefoil. How many of you heard bar's foot trefoil? 1, 2, 3, only few. So bar's foot trefoil is another legume. It's very slow to establish, very tiny. It has reseeding capacity. Once you established, next year it will increase the seed bank and slowly it's come. It's very slow to establish. In New Zealand, bar's foot trefoil is one of the best legume over there. They don't grow too much alfalfa over there. They don't call even alfalfa, they call lucerne over there. In Australia, New Zealand, they call lucerne. We call alfalfa. So bar's foot trefoil is really one of the best product in New Zealand. So from where we got this idea that bar's foot trefoil can increase the milk production even very good, because this is high tannin, and because of the high tannin content, it does not produce any blot problem. So that's one of the things. Alfalfa, bar's foot trefoil, sandpine, with 5 different ratios, and we have 3 levels of nitrogen: 0, 50, and 100 units of nitrogen per acre. To look at, Albert already mentioned the economics. Okay, the question is, what are the species are compatible? You cannot just plant any grass with any legumes. You have to find out the compatible species, #1. #2, what would be the ratio so that it would be persistence for the longer time. If you plant, after 3 years you will come and you'll complain me and that there is no legume there or there is no grass there, all legume over there. So they take, either one will be take over another one. So that's the ratio. We have different ratio, which ratio would be perfectly fit, compatible with the grasses. And then we have different legumes here, and we have different level of nitrogen here. The #1, Ron, where is Ron here today? Ron gave us very good suggestion today. Ron? He not here?
Yeah.
Okay. So he was asking about the economics. That's one of the important question. Economics, is that viable option for us? So that's the reason actually, if we have biological nitrogen naturally come, that will reduce the production cost significantly, #1. And number two is that persistence, right? If we have a persistent stance with different, for example, we have 50-50 alfalfa or meadow brome, whatever we have, and then if we have better yield or similar yield with 100-pound nitrogen, which would be the better? We'll go for mix. So that's the ultimate goal. To, as Ron raised question today, we are looking three things. One is find out the best species mix with the best variety, then look at the persistence of those varieties, and then thirdly, look at the economics. So Alberto will be looking for the economics after second year or third year to look at this, which ratio will be perfectly fit and which ratio will give more and which ratio will be persistence for the longer time. So I'll not continue because I am already 2 minutes over 12.